in what other people are seeing or how they're seeing me react too, because then I could get a better idea of like, I think inwardly, like I'm not showing those emotions, but outwardly maybe I am. So I think just to sum this one up, working on that mental side of your game, which shout out, we just did a podcast on that, how you can kind of tiptoe around that perfectionism, bust through the door and try to get rid of it so that you can focus on your progress. So if you haven't listened to that, make sure that you highlight that one. But overall, take some time to focus on your mental game. Know what character strengths you excel with. Know what character strengths maybe you need a little more help with. And take the time to prepare yourself to go through those things.
Okay, this is a piggybacking off what you said. So I spoke to a colleague on the phone today, and she said that she works with a goalkeeper at the college level, and that someone, a coach at the pro level and beyond, said that she'll never get to the pro level because, can you insert what you think the answer was? What was the thing that disqualified her from being a top level goalkeeper at the pro level?
Lacks confidence.
No.
Presence.
No, I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Ooh. Not coachable.
No.
I don't know. You've stumped me.
Okay. So this is good. So she said that a coach at the next level told her that the goalkeeper that she works with will never get to the pro level because she's too small. And
I thought we were talking about mentality.
Oh, no. Just in general.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They said that she's too small. And I thought to myself, wow. And she asked me, she said, do you agree with this? I said, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think that there's a specific size that you need to be. She said, well, they said to her that she has to be 5'10" or above. And I was like, oh, that's curious, because like you would miss out on a lot of goalkeepers in our league if you had to be 5'10", or, I don't think Alyssa Nair was 5'10", but anyway. I was thinking to myself of like, actually, what would disqualify someone from maybe being at that next level, at the pro level or the national team level or whatever? And if I asked you that, what would you say? What would disqualify someone? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Being a bad person?
Yeah. To me, that's the only thing. It's like having
a bad teammate.
Having bad character, like consistently having bad character. And like, I shared this story with the interns today before training and the college drop-in before training. And I asked them the question, and they actually did get it. They did get the size thing. One of the 4 of them said it. And I asked them, what would disqualify you? And they said, being a bad teammate. And I was like, yeah, you're having, displaying consistently bad character is definitely a disqualifier for me. And I said to them, I want you to not share. I said, don't share out loud, but I want you to ponder what your greatest insecurity is, because we all have them. We all have them. As a goalkeeper or as a person, is like, what is your greatest insecurity? And they thought about it. And I said, no, it's never going to disqualify you from being the goalkeeper or person that you want to be. And whatever. You're not fit enough. You're not fast enough. You're not this. You're not that. That's never going to disqualify you from being the goalkeeper and unlocking the potential that you have, or being the best person that you can be. The only thing that ever can disqualify you is you showing up with bad character. And it just to piggyback off your point of like the mentality piece, is like, you guys can improve on whatever you work on, but you can't unless you display good character, right? I'm not talking about being nice and kind. It is part of it, but I'm talking about being resilient. I'm talking about displaying grit. I'm talking about determination, talking about courage and bravery and wrestling with your identity when you make mistakes, right? It's not about just, oh, I need to be nice to you. No, it's about being so gritty, so gritty. And also being a great teammate is very important too. Like, there's a moral performance and there is there's moral character and there's performance character. Moral character is really important, but performance character is equally as important to those things, right? I want to be a good person from around other people, and I want to be the best person to myself. That's what character means for me, right? And I just want to encourage anybody listening to this, is like, you might not feel like you're the grittiest person, but you can tap into that thing. And just like, your your muscles grow, your quads and your biceps and your hammies, they all grow. So can your grit. So can your resilience. So can your heart. That's really what it comes down to, right? And so by putting a little attention to that, by bringing some awareness to when am I gritty? When am I resilient? When can I display a little bit more of that? It's going to, one, give you more confidence because you're like, dang, with a little grit, a little resilience, look what I did. Look what I was able to accomplish. And then that's going to grow your curiosity because you're like, dang, what else can I do? What else can I do?
Yeah.
And yeah, that is, I think, piggybacking off what you said in terms of character. If you put a little more attention to that, it's going to equally make you a great person and a better goalkeeper.
Yeah. No extra money, a little extra time, no physical sweat.
Nothing.
Just like game understanding. Just a little Saturday practice, if you will.
All right. I got a good question for you to wrap this one up. What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, Jillian.
I know. That's like a deep one, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to ask this question, okay?
Okay.
People ask me all the time, what do you want your kids to be? What do you want your kids to do? What do you want them to be? Like, you want them to be soccer players? You want them to be goalkeepers? You want them to play this? I'm like, I literally don't care. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
That is why I asked you this question.
Okay. I thought about this before. And so much so I even have this tattoo. It's a little eyeball with a tree inside because you want to plant trees you'll never see. And I think for me, the most important part about like my legacy would be that I treated people really, really well. I treated people well, and I helped them feel like a sense of joy and light in their life. And whether it be because they realized they could do something they didn't know they were capable of, or help them along their way in their journey. I just want to leave that legacy of kindness, joy, and support.
Yeah, I love that. So my answer to this question about my kids being, what do you want them to be? What do you want them to do? And I'm like, I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because we all have different things that we enjoy, and I want them to do what they enjoy, right? And for a long time, I would say, I just want them to be happy. I just want them to be happy. I just want them to be happy. I'm like, oh, golly, bleh. That's not real life, right? I get to pursue my passion every day. I get to do what I love every single day, but I'm not happy all the time, right? And I think that's a huge misconception, is that even though I get to coach and I love it, love it, I'm not happy every single day when I do it. And there's really, really hard days. There's really hard days that I have to challenge myself of like, who am I showing up right now? Whatever. It could be because I'm feeling insecure. It could be because I'm tired. It could be because I've done too much, or it could be because I'm not prepared. It could be any of those things, right? But I changed saying what I want my kids to be. And my hope is that they are resilient and loving. And I hope that's my legacy, is that I want to be a resilient human being for myself so that I can pursue my ambitions and dreams and aspirations. But also I want to be the most loving person with those, whatever it is that I want to do. I want to be the most loving person to other people. So the resilience is for me and the loving is for other people, but that's what I hope my legacy is.
That's good. It's good stuff, JL.
So that's for the parents. The whole podcast was for players and parents. The question was just mostly for the parents, because you guys get to bring attention to whatever your kids, like your legacy is your kids. And so, you get to show up and be the role model of whatever you want that legacy to be.
Speaking of legacy.
Oh boy.
Who's got a glove legacy for you?
Oh, what?
Glove legacy. Also, there's a dog fight happening in my house.
I hear it.
24/7. Anytime I'm on the phone.
Oh gosh.
Come on, tell them. Who's the best goalkeeping glove brand of all time?
Oh, I'm sorry. You had me for a second. You guys, the best glove brand of all time is West Coast, and they are a glove sponsor and equipment supplier at TKI, and they make gloves for everybody from the beginner to the pro. They represent over 100 pros around the world, including our favorites: Kalen Sheridan, Matt Turner, Liv Saccani, all of our favorites. And they have over 40 models available, and they have a glove for you. And so you just go to westcoastgoalkeeping.com, and then after that, come over to our website and get some information on goalkeeping and reach out to us if you need any support. We care about you guys. We love you so much. It's why we do this podcast, because we want to help you take your next steps and support you, whether you live in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Montana, or California. We care so deeply about you and helping you become the best person and goalkeeper that you can be. Reach out anytime so we can help you unlock your potential. And until then.
Welcome to the Keeper Institute podcast. My name is Tori Corsaro. I'm a strength and conditioning and goalkeeper coach here at the Keeper Institute and your host for today's show. The Keeper Institute is a unique goalkeeper training facility in New Jersey aimed at developing better goalkeepers and better people. On this podcast, we will be discussing all things goalkeeping, character development, and more.
Welcome back to another episode of the Keeper Institute podcast. Oh, get
We've
funky
arrived.
with it, Jill.
We've arrived.
Get funky.
I feel like, like the red carpet comes out for people to like make an entrance. That is our entrance. Air horn.
Yeah.
I feel like we should also show up to camp with the air horn. Like, oh, Jill and Tori are here.
We could do that 100%.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. We got like 1 week. Yeah, less than 1 week, really.
Yeah, wild. That crept up on us.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. This is going to be our last podcast for a little bit. We're going to take a break in July. And this is a good one to wrap up with because it's for everybody. Anybody with a pulse, I think, can relate to some of the things that we're going to talk about today. And if you don't know, I recently competed in TST, which is the soccer tournament, which is a tournament in North Carolina where you play 7v7 and you compete for $1 million. And we won. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
We
champion right here, baby. Let's go.
Yes. So I thought it would be a good idea to share some of my key takeaways from the tournament and share it with you guys as you delve into your summer training program, as you prepare for the fall, as you ponder what your next level is that you want to get to, as you think about maybe some of the ambitions and goals that you have for your life or your career or all of it. And I think that these three things will help you and potentially maybe change your perspective or give you a different perspective about what's actually important. So, did you watch the final, Tori?
No, I was working with the great goalkeepers at SJB, so I did not get a chance to watch the final.
Okay. I felt sick the whole time. Like I felt like this nasty pit in my stomach that I could either puke or just like have to run to the bathroom. Like I just so anxious about like how it was going to go. I know because like we haven't been in this like competition setting like myself for like close to 11 or 12 years. So we did obviously play in TST last year, but I don't know, something about having to defend the championship and, a lot on the line. It was just a little bit different. It was very, very anxiety producing. So I was definitely nauseous and sick and also stressed and exhausted all at the same time while the game was happening.
Fair enough.
But yeah. So last year is a little bit different because I didn't play last year. And this year I was really excited because I wanted to play. I wanted to contribute to the team. And I felt like, okay, now that I have a lay of the land of what this game is about, I feel like I can contribute to helping our team win. And so I got to play and I got in the game and the in possession elements that we coach so much just really took over. And, being able to engage pressure, find the spare player, play penetrative passes, communicate with the ball, your mouth visually. I felt like I was doing all those things. And then we conceded possession in the middle of the field. And I was in a very, very preventative position off my line. And I was in an angle to support the attack. And we concede possession. And immediately they play a long pass in behind our back line. And me with the preventative mind that I have, I'm like, I can impact that. So I came off my line. I rushed off my line as quick as my almost 40-year-old body could move. And I quickly realized that I was going to have to emergency slide tackle. So I was prepared. I was like, all right, I'm going to ground. I'm going to go with my right foot. I'm going to take a touch, get a touch in before the attacker. And as I'm running out, I'm realizing, oh, bleep, I can't slide tackle in this game. And so I had to stop because if I would have slid tackle in that moment, I probably would have got a red card because you're just not allowed to slide tackle outside the box as a goalkeeper. And so she dribbled around me and she scored and it was embarrassing. And that was the only goal that we conceded in that game. And I was like, really upset with myself because I know better. I shouldn't have gone. I should have just retreated. And then thinking back, I'm like, retroactively, I'm like, man, this goal is so small. She wouldn't have been able to clip it over top of my head and get it back down under the bar in time. And anyway, for about 30 seconds, I wrestled with it and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad at myself. And then I let it go. And I had to finish playing the remainder of the time, and went in TST time and had to play. And I recognized in that moment is like, wow, I'm embarrassed. Not because like I care what people think about me, but mostly my family and stuff. Like my kids have never seen me play before. But also I realized that like if I continued down that path of blaming myself and being angry at myself, that I wasn't going to be able to provide the best play that I could for my team going forward. And I think before, like when I played for real, I was always so afraid of making those mistakes. And I was always so afraid to take risks. And I was always so afraid to gamble. And it felt really freeing, even though it was just the TST tournament. It felt really freeing to be able to step on the field and be brave and take risks and maybe interpret the position a little bit differently, especially in possession than maybe some of the other goalkeepers were. And I was really proud of myself after the game. Yeah, I was upset that I conceded that goal, which I think is fair and my honest truth, even though, I don't have the body that I did when I played. I might have a sharper mind, but my legs aren't as fast and I'm not as strong as I was when I played. Right. So showing myself grace in that regard. But after retrospection and going to bed that night, I woke up and I realized like, I'm really proud of myself for, one, taking risks and being brave, because when you are brave, you don't know the outcome, right? You don't know if it's going to work out for you or not. And number two, I was proud of myself for not going down a deep rabbit hole of I'm a terrible human being, I'm a terrible goalkeeper, and my team hates me and they're so mad at me and I'm never going to play again. And I, the next day when I woke up, I had a better perspective of like, wow, I should give myself a little more credit because I'm stronger mentally than I used to be. And I'm stronger mentally than sometimes I potentially give myself credit for. I don't know if you've had any of those like key findings for yourself, like in ways that you've stretched yourself, but I think it gave me a lot more confidence in outside of the lines of like, okay, I am resilient and I am brave and I'm going to continue to be brave because that feels like it's in alignment with who I am. And when I make a mistake, I am mentally strong enough to recover.
I mean, it's amazing. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we do what we do at TKI, is because we want people to be able to have that hindsight, but in front of them, instead of have to look back when they're our ages and be like, man, they were right. Like, I wish I kind of like had that mental resilience or could give myself that kind of grace or have understanding of like the fact that bravery, I don't know the outcome. I just have to be brave and be okay that it might go this way or that way. And I think that that's such a great lesson as to why we're doing what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number two. So number one was that I'm stronger than I give myself credit for, and I'm braver than I give myself credit for, and I can recover from any mistakes. Number two was a lot of introspection back to like when I played. So when I was a kid, I started playing and, we lost every game like 6-0 that year and we were so bad, but like I loved it because I just loved goalkeeping. Like I felt comfortable. I felt myself. I felt like, wow, I'm like decent at this. Like, and it feels good to be good at something. Right.
For sure.
And I think, reasons why people play the game is a lot different, and that's okay. And I realized at the end of this tournament that competition and like competing and winning doesn't really fulfill me. And I think I've always known that. But I, especially after this tournament, was like, I don't feel the need to compete with anybody else. Like, I don't feel the need to like feel whole through competition. And I like competing. Like, I like, Marie and I will literally compete to see who can fold as many socks, who can fold more, right? But it doesn't fulfill me and it doesn't make me any more valuable or worthy if I win. And it doesn't make me any less than if I lose. I like the joy of competing and pushing yourself and stretching yourself, but it doesn't make me feel any different at the end of the game. I can be, proud because X, Y, and Z, but it doesn't necessarily just like lean on winning. It's awesome that we won and it's awesome that we went undefeated in the tournament, but it also doesn't make me feel any different. Like, I still slept the same. I still got up the same the next day. I still valued myself, even if we would have won or if we would have lost. And I think for me, like, it was a real good moment for me to understand, well, what is fulfilling about these opportunities? And I think it was reflecting back on my playing career and reflecting back on this, I realized that I really like to do stuff with people. Like, I really like to compete with people and the camaraderie and the teamwork of it all, and like the friendships and the relationships. And that drives me to be my best. And like, even when I'm thinking about recovering from some of my my injuries on the national team, I broke my hand. Like, I remember getting on the treadmill and having pictures of my teammates on the treadmill, because that was that drove me to come back, because I wanted to be able to do it with them. I wanted to be able to compete alongside of them. And, in college, the same way, like, I competed because I loved my teammates, and I was out there every single day because I really enjoyed the position. Right. So what drives me, I found out, was less about the competing part and winning part and feeling fulfilled through winning, and more about doing something alongside of people I really care about, and more about stretching myself and the position. So like, the TST tournament, I was playing with players that I've played soccer with for 25 years. Like, I've played soccer with Heather O'Reilly, for 25 years. And it was so cool being out in the field with her, even like as older people. Like, we're players, but like, we're just older people now. And like, the relationships that have stuck around, and like the meaningful relationships that have been around with Ali Krieger, and Kat Whitehill and Nikki Krizik. And it was just really cool to be alongside of those people in an environment where we could compete, but also we could just be really good friends too.
Yeah.
And
snaps.
And I think subconsciously, that's like my favorite thing about TKI as well. Like, the relationships with people, like the relationships that like you and I have established through our time here at TKI. And like, obviously we're so passionate about goalkeeping. We're so passionate. Like, I'm obsessed with learning, and I'm obsessed with helping people find their own potential. And, one of the goalkeepers that we work with just got called up to the futures camp, and I was like, got on the phone with her, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you, I'm so proud of you, but like, just because you did this doesn't change how proud I am of you every day. Like, I've been proud of you because you stretched yourself and you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and you continue to be your best person, the best person you can be every day. And that's like what makes me proud. And like, you getting called up is just a byproduct, but like, that's so fulfilling, right? Like, it's not about if she gets on the team and they win their game. It's more about who she's becoming through the process, Anyway.
This might be my favorite point, but I feel like after I hear point number 3, I might say that that's my favorite point. So I don't know. You're the gift that keeps giving, Jill Loyden.
Okay. The last thing I learned, besides that I'm stronger than I think I am, and what actually fulfills me and what drives me forward, is that I learned at the end of a game, you put all the pieces back in the box. And in TST, in soccer, when I play Monopoly with my kids or Go Fish, like, at the end of it, you just put all the pieces right back into the box, and that's it. Like, I remember like playing games. I am still a big gamer. Like, I'm a board gamer. I'm a card gamer. I like to play.
Confirm.
Yeah, I like to play games. And again, because you're with someone else, right? You're like having good conversation, you're chatting, you're having fun, the banter, all of it, right? I like that. But at the end of games when I was a kid, whether you were playing Trouble or Sorry or Parcheesi, like, I might say I win or I might lose, but guess what? You put all the pieces back in the box, you put the box back on the shelf, and life goes on. And whether you win, whether you lose, the hope is that you enjoyed it, right? And I think that's something that Marie and I are trying to teach our children, is that you don't have to necessarily be the best basketball player in order to play basketball. You don't need to, go out and practice 100 hours just so you can play pickup basketball for fun, right? Like,
Right.
I am not going to become an expert Go Fish player, but we play because it's enjoyable and it's fun. And we don't always need to know what the ending is going to be for that game or that journey or that ambition, right? Like, as a young person, I had a dream to play on the national team when I was 10, and I didn't really think about it that much throughout my career. It would have been great to get called in, but I didn't until I was like 24 or 25. And that was okay. Like, I didn't really think about it. I just thought about what actually drove me to be my best. And it wasn't about fulfilling this goal, although it was there and it was a lofty ambition, right? It was more about how can I put myself in a position that I like myself. I really like myself, that I'm making choices that align with who I am as a person, and putting myself in a position to like, oh man, I really love this. And I'm not to say that like it's not hard. It is hard. It is hard. But the enjoyable part of hard is being able to handle it the best that you can, right? And coming on the other side like potentially better for it. And yeah, at the end of TST, we did win, but the pieces go back in the box. And I woke up the next day and went right to camp. And I'm the same person I was then. I was the same person at camp as the day before when I won TST. And that it doesn't change anything, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 3 like key learnings. It was such an enjoyable environment. It was so much fun. The fans were amazing. It was so good to be playing soccer with some of my past teammates from all walks of life and watching the next generation as well. Like there's going to be some really good players that come into the college game this year, and I can't wait to watch them all and cheer them all on. And yeah, it was such a good time.
We love a good learning experience that is also fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nothing beats it.
Yes, but I feel like I've really reflected on these key learnings, and I'm like, okay, great. What does that tell me about tomorrow? What does that tell me about next week and next month and how I continue to live my life, having these experiences? And sometimes I feel like when you're in the experience, you can't really maybe value how important it is, or you don't really soak in how awesome it is until it like kind of marinades over time, and you're like, wow, that key learning is really impacting me now. And that was like such a big key lesson for me to learn there, because it's impacting all of my decisions now, and it's impacting my behaviors now. And I've really been focused on those 3 things of like, okay, you know, I have IGCC coming up on Friday, and I'm presenting in the classroom and on the field, which is, if you guys are coaches, like make sure you register because it's coming up this weekend. But it is a little anxiety producing. And I keep telling myself, at the end of the day, we're just going to do the best we can. We're going to show people what our environment looks like, and that's our character. And it doesn't matter if the goalkeepers make the save or if they don't. It doesn't matter if I stumble over my words or if I crash and burn at the presentation, because I've done everything I can to prepare, and hopefully it goes well. But if not, I'm strong enough to deal with that. I'm like mentally resilient enough to pick up my boots, take responsibility, and be like, okay, we'll be better moving forward. So hopefully these 3 lessons, although they are very generic, and although they're like not, you know, like original, they are the 3 things that I feel like I really took away from this tournament, and I hope to be able to like implement into my everyday and remember in my everyday, so it can kind of shape my behavior, which I think ultimately will lead to more peace and fulfillment.
Yeah. Darn tootin'. Okay.
Before we end our podcast, I have the question.
You do?
Yes, I have a very good one. We've talked about this, and if you want to take a minute, because there's a lot of choices, you can. And if you want me to go first, you tell me. But if you were starting an expansion team in the NWSL, and you could have any player in the entire league, or let's say 2 players, if you could have any 2 players in the entire league on your team to start your expansion team, who would you pick?
I have mine already.
Okay, go for it.
I'm a strong, like, I need a great goalkeeper. I need a goal scorer machine. Okay. So I got Kaylin Sheridan, obviously.
Okay, that's a good one.
Temwa Shawinga.
Ooh, okay. That was really quick off the cuff.
I'd love to see them play together.
Yeah, that really could be a lethal combination. I think we could definitely see more goalkeeper assists in the league.
100%.
Okay, mine are obviously Kaylin, because I think goalkeeper is the most important position in the world, in the game, and she's the best in the world. And then my second choice is Sam Coffey, because I think she's probably the most well-rounded, competent midfielder in the league, with an incredible character, treats people well, and somebody that you can build your spine around.
You're not wrong.
And 6 is my second favorite position on the field.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, if I
just
could go
throw it
back
out there.
and play any other position, it'd be 6. Yeah.
I'd be a wingback.
I actually have a second follow-up question about this because I've seen some discourse about this recently. What do you think the easiest position is on the field?
Ooh,
It's tough, right?
that is tough.
Yeah, easiest position on the field.
Easiest. I mean, it's definitely not goalkeeper.
No. Although some people were saying that, I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
I also don't think it's anyone in the width area because they gotta run a lot.
It is a lot of running.
It's a lot of running.
Mm-hmm.
Your center mids are important. Your 6 is gonna make or break you, I think, in build out and also in like preventing shots.
In transition, yeah.
Your 10 is your playmaker. So depending on your style, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but like depending on your style, it might be like that hold up forward. It might be like if I'm a hold up forward and I'm just like setting it back to then run in.
Yeah.
But you need someone who's gonna score goals. So like
you do. But you can get goals from 10s and from wingers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with right back. I think right back is the easiest position on the field. Because typically on your left side, you get like a little bit more flair. You get them to invert in central positions. You get them going up high, maybe being like an auxiliary forward. So I'm going to go with right back. I feel like that's kind of like a no-nonsense defense first kind of position.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Anyway, you guys, we're so thankful that you joined us for this podcast. Hopefully you took something away. We're so thankful that you guys join us on a regular basis. If this is the first time you're listening, wow. Thank you so much for listening and trusting us with your 20 minutes of your time. We want to support you. That's why we exist. We want to help goalkeepers become the best people and goalkeepers that they possibly can. We want to support you in your development because so often we are overlooked and not thought about enough. So if you need some support and you need some help in your journey, please let us know. Please reach out. We really, really care about you, whether you are here on a regular basis or whether you live in California and we get to see you once a year, or in Arkansas, we never get to see you. Please reach out. We want to support your development. Send us some of your film, whatever it is that you need. And also, we want to say thanks to our proud sponsor at West Coast. They are our goalkeeper glove and equipment supplier. They help everybody from the first day of goalkeeping to the pro level. They have 100 goalkeepers. They've got 40 different models of gloves. Make sure you guys check out westcoastgoalkeeping.com. And if you need a little bit more support and you're looking for a way to get connected with TKI remotely, we've got TKI University starting in 2 weeks, which is one of my favorite things that we do per year. We meet 3 times a month, 2 as a class, 1 individually. Our class sessions are about tech and mastering the mental side with Dr. Christiana Ogunsami. Tori, anything else to wrap up this season of TKI Podcast?
Thanks for listening. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to catch you in the next season.
Yeah, we'll catch you in a couple months, you guys. Bye.
Bye.